as Cantrell, and I am originally from Birmingham, Alabama.
My name is Malik Wilder, man. I'm from Rahway, New Jersey. We call it the Prison City. Prison City, Rahway, New Jersey.
Colton Cathey, my real name. Everybody know me as A1 from Memphis. Here, it's like everybody kind of fend for themselves. Everybody, like, it's kind of bitter here. It's a strong energy, but it's a lot of talent. I always like to say it's a lot of talent. It's just being in a poverty-stricken situations. A lot of times, a lot of people don't see the good, the end to the struggle.
Growing up in Birmingham for me was very structured. My mom and my dad were very strict. So I was one of those kids that went to church a lot. School was very important to me. It was fun. It was okay, you know. But after a while, I did get bored with Birmingham, so decided to move to Atlanta.
My father started a nonprofit organization when I was younger. So what I did, I said I wanted to have the same thing. I want to be like my dad. That's my superhero. So when I got older, I started a nonprofit organization called Fish Inc. Finding Inspiration, Sharing Hope, Incorporated. So with Fish Inc., I needed something to make it cool in the eyes of the kids to get involved in fishing. So I took my marketing campaign, which is Fishing for Hip Hop LLC, and I started introducing the fishing industry to the hip hop industry and showing the kids that different hip hop artists, graffiti artists, DJs, producers, and everyone within the culture that loves to fish, and let them see that it is cool that you can grab a fishing rod and get out on the water and go fishing.
Like when I was younger, I used to sell like little snacks. Like when I was 6, I used to sell like little gum snacks and things like that. My mom was in school when she was young, so we was, she was trying to get her stuff together. And so it kind of really kept me from wanting to ask her to do too much. So I had to figure out a way to make some money. And when I started figuring out ways to make money, to buy some of the things that I actually wanted, it unlocked something in me to actually want to have some money for rainy days. And then it really pushed me for the overall outcome to feel one day when I'm older to be able to help my mom, and even if she didn't have a job, that she wouldn't have to worry about nothing. So I would say that to actually start something was always in me. I always wanted to open up a business, but to actually drive and become more became more when, like, seeing my mom struggle in certain situations.
I'll say, I think I always knew I was an entrepreneur simply because I remember being a kid in Birmingham and my godfather worked at Golden Flake Potato Chip Company. And so he would always like bring everybody chips and all of this. And I distinctly remember when the candy lady in our neighborhood passed away, and it was like a void. Yeah. And I just kind of picked up where she left off and just started being like the neighborhood candy lady at like 10. So it was just always in me. But I think I got that from my father because he was always looking for different ventures and doing different things. And I think it was just something that was hereditary.
Well, I got started when I was a kid. I was 2 years old. I was introduced to fishing from my dad. So my father introduced me to fishing when I was 2 years old. I've been hooked ever since. Fast forward till today, I came up with the combination of the hip-hop industry and the fishing industry, and I merged them together, and I created Fishing for Hip Hop. So with my love and my passion for hip hop and managing some artists within the industry, I took my love and my passion for fishing, and I figured I'd put the two together and create a company and a business, and it's been thriving ever since.
What initially triggered for me was I saw a need in Atlanta. I saw the entertainment community growing. I knew that public relations and marketing were vital parts to people getting their products seen and heard. And I decided that I was learning all these things, working with different agencies, and I felt like I had value to offer my own community with what I had learned with larger agencies and bigger brands, and decided to just put it to work.
I done did so many different forms of business. What I like to call the hustling level, where it's not official on paper, and you're doing some stuff at your house, and then working for somebody, but you're doing some things to the side to try to get some things started, and then actually starting an official business. I started my official business, which was my tattoo shop, when I was 20, but I had been working for myself in my house when I was like 19, building some clientele, and that's basically how I started. Once I started that, it kind of just branched my mind to opening up other things and stepping into other business ventures.
Thing I tell all kids, I even tell my own children, save your money. As if you want to be an entrepreneur when you get older, you want to have your own business, you want to start up your own anything. It could be clothing lines, selling your own clothes, to making iced out fly rods. Save your money. Without money, you can't produce the things that you want to do. So my main thing is, and my best advice I can give anyone is, save your money, man. Save your money.
I try to teach them that, especially in this day and age, that one stream of income is not enough. So if you have a skill that you've learned in corporate America, I'd like them to understand that it's transferable. Like, just because you learned it at one particular company doesn't mean you can't put it to work for yourself.
I push to the youth is to think outside the box, and not to go off those 2 or 3 jobs they see in the limelight, but to think about the things and the mechanics behind the things that they see.
I try to make sure that they understand being professional, things that you can and can't do, things that will hurt you, things that will help you. And I try to just expose them to as many people that can be an inspiration to them.
My message is, other than a hard, extreme work ethic, is you can do anything. I'm in the place where they don't want you to win. It's at the bottom. Like, everybody hates you if you actually become something. But to get past that and to see that you can do this, some of these rappers that people look up to, and I'm in the music now, I'm stepping into it simply to tell my story. But I live better than them. And it was simply because I did business. The things that they don't want you to know. The things that people see in the beginning, they look at the rappers and they feel like that's the lifestyle they want to live. But is anybody actually asking the question of who writes the rappers the checks? The people that you don't see, behind the scenes. Those are the ones that actually make 10, 15-fold of what the rappers and the athletes and anybody who's actually, getting a check. Those are the people that actually make the most. But people don't really ask any questions because they're not in the limelight.
I started my nonprofit organization, fishinc.org, and that teaches kids everyday life skills and how to create different situations for themselves where they can use their tools of fishing and life skills together. Meaning, let's take the word patience, for example. We're out on the water, you cast out, you gotta wait until you get a bite. You gotta wait for a fish to hit. So you gotta practice your patience right there just on the water. Safety as well. We wear life vests when we're on boats. Safety, we just relating everyday life skills that we use on the water and we use in our daily routine. And that's what we're teaching the kids in Fish Inc. But I took the fishing for hip-hop aspect, and with the music and the culture and the way of life, I just made it more fun and more exciting for kids to get involved in Fish Inc. through fishing for hip-hop.
I try to make sure that my children understand that you can have creative pursuits, and those creative pursuits can be a stream of revenue for you.
Right now, in the fishing industry, and in the future period, as a minority, I already know we're going to be the majority soon. And with that being said, what I'm trying to do is get more African Americans, Hispanics, Asians, more minorities involved in the outdoors and in fishing. And that's where I'm at with it right now today.
Well, it's not, it's kind of bleak, but you know, I always try to have a glimmer of hope. But with this present economy, some days I don't know. I would say one thing I would hope that everyone is learning is that your life is affected by what they're doing in Washington, in the government. It may not impact you today, you know, tomorrow, but at some point it's going to impact you. So I hope that we're, you know, understanding that we have to safeguard ourselves. That, you know, I've heard too many stories about parents or people that I know whose parents have been on jobs for 30 and 40 years, and then right before retirement they come and they're let go. And that can be a hard pill to swallow. So I try to always make sure my children know that as long as you are alive, you have something to offer. It may not be a job, but you can make sure that you are building your own job if you go in business for yourself.
First off, have to be able to adapt to anything. One of my reasons that I'm able to take over and grow so fast is some people are so set in their ways that it's easy for me to come in and do something that they simply just don't want to do. Like working for the pennies. I work for the pennies till they add up to dollars. To be able to adapt to any situation is a power. I like to say powers. It's one of my strongest powers. If I had to give advice for anything on the future and to say to look out for, I would say going off somebody else's success, you have to look at it but never think that it's going to be so anal. Even if somebody was paying attention to me and saying, all right, you know, I'm going to duplicate what he's doing over here, you have to be able to have in your mind that there is going to be different variables to your situation to actually be able to duplicate it at all. So to have the mindset that nothing is going to be consistent to your situation is one of the biggest things that I would explain to somebody looking at the business.
If you're interested in doing anything entertainment related, I would say get my book, which is called Industry Life. It's on Amazon. Then I would say make sure you learn the business. So I don't suggest or recommend that you come in and you just wake up one day and you decide, hey, I'm going to be a publicist. Hey, I'm going to do marketing and PR. Learn the business. So if that means working with the independent publicist, getting an internship with the company, trying to be hired by a larger agency so you can learn the ins and outs, the daily operations of how this thing works. Because it is a science to it. But I see a lot of people that just kind of like jump out and, you know, they say, hey, I want to try this. And then when it doesn't go exactly as planned, then they abandon it. But it's a constant grind. Like there's never a week that goes by that I'm not trying to connect with a journalist or a blogger that I haven't connected with. It's not a week that goes by that I don't try to reach out to someone and say, hey, just thinking of you, you know, keeping those relationships alive. The other thing is this business, public relations and entertainment too, it's about relationships. So as a good friend of mine, Marco Johnson, would say, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. And even though people may not know your name, but if they know that you're professional and they know what you do, you will generate interest and income from people that want to work with you. A lot of people don't realize that one of the main tasks that you will have in PR is writing. So my advice to anyone that wants to be in this business is to read and to write as often as you can. If no one is employing you to write a press release, do it in your spare time. Go online, Google other people, find publicists, follow them on social media, and see what that life is like. Because yes, you do get to go to red carpet events. Yes, you do get VIP status at certain events. Yes, you do get to meet people who are on television, in movies, making music. But the bottom line is, while these people are making their product, you have to be strategically thinking about how to build your brand. So don't let the perks fool you, because there is a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. So for a client standing on the red carpet, understand that someone like me is behind that person, and they're making sure that they have their name spelled correctly. They're in touch with, they're getting the proper media interviews while they're on the red carpet. They look great. Their image is great. And they also shield you from having questions that could possibly be a little uncomfortable. So I would say don't let the perks fool you. Get ready to roll up your sleeves and really work, because this is a real business and you do work.
I learned specific pieces of information to apply to my situations. I have 12 businesses now, so I had to get advice from all sections. None of those is more important or more important than the other, and vice versa. But for somebody else's specific situation, I'm kind of like in a different area where I created so much stuff. But for somebody else who focuses on one thing, like they like, all right, if I can do this in life, I will be happy. Like a car painter, for instance. Like some people go to school to be a car painter, and like, I want to do this. If that person was going to be a car painter, I would tell them, don't concentrate so much more on the school institutes or things like that, the places where they give general amount of information. Concentrate more on the person that you feel is going to give you that the most information, period. Whether he's a person at a body shop that you look up to, I would listen to him more than I would listen to a person that's going to give you a place that's going to give you a degree. The information is the most important part of anything that you gather. Not where you get it, not the paper that you get the information. I have a few licenses, but I don't have any degrees. But I know more than a lot of people with degrees. The person who was teaching the business class, I remember I was going to school. I knew more when I was 19 about that woman. I mean, the woman who was teaching the business class, telling me definitions about business than she knew, because she's never owned a business. So get past the mindset of thinking this person has a degree, and get past knowing this person has the knowledge. I don't care what they look like, who they are. Get that person to tell you what they know. That's the biggest advice I can tell anybody.
A professor, one of my professors that worked at Morehouse told me the best way to be a writer is to live first. So go out, have experiences, and then write your masterpiece or one of your masterpieces. Another piece of advice that I carry with me came from a former boss. And in public relations, he always told me to manage your clients' expectations. So, translation, don't tell them that you're going to get them on Good Morning America. There are no guarantees in this business, but do make yourself available, always ready to help, and always be there so that you can manage and let them know your story may not fit for Good Morning America, but it may be a good fit for the Steve Harvey Morning Show. So managing your clients' expectations.
You can get in touch with me at fishingforhiphop.com, and you can also email me, fishinc07, it's fishinc07 at gmail, and fishingforhiphop@gmail.com. Fishinc.org is also the website for the nonprofit organization. Make sure y'all follow me on Fishing for Hip Hop, Fish Inc. on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and everything, all social media platforms, Fish Inc. and Fishing for Hip Hop. And I'm out here, man. If y'all want to learn how to fish, just get at me, reach out. We got boats, we got float tubes, we got chest waders, we got fly rods, we got regular spin casting rods. We fishing for hip hop, man. Fly fishing for hip hop. That's it, baby. Save your money and get at me when you want to get on this water. Peace.
The name of my business is J Glass Communications. It's a play on my maiden name, which is Glass. And basically, the business is a creative communications and media consultancy. So that means that when people have projects, so I'll use the one that I did a couple of months ago, working with an actress by the name of Kiana Simone Simpson. She appeared in the movie The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lex with Oprah. And so when I was introduced to Kiana, the task was this was a big role for her, and she wanted to get more media exposure. So she wanted to be in magazines, she wanted to do radio. And so we came up with a strategic plan of different outlets to target for her, that would introduce her to a wider audience, and also communicate the way that we wanted them to communicate about what she was doing. So that included, talking points. They were willing to ask the questions that we wanted them to ask her to stay in that lane. And so we did that for her once the movie premiered. And Kiana is now, another part of the task was the media that we set up for her would support future projects that she was going for. So, with that being said, Kiana is now a reoccurring actor on the CW network, that show Black Lightning. So we do things like that. So clients come to us and say, hey, I would love to get on X, Y, and Z radio station, or I just need media attention. I need people to know about my product, to know about my brand. And so we sit down and we come up with a strategic plan and figure out how to make that happen for them. My email address is jglasspr, P as in Peter, R as in Robert, @gmail.com. And my office number is 404-590-1339. I'm also on social media. You can find me at Miss Jurena, and that's MSJURENA, and that's on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Well, I started with my first business, my tattoo shop. That's one of all my business, I usually have a price comparison, have the best and cheapest. Tattooing is not that. Tattooing is the art. It's one of my favorite, most intimate things that I do is tattooing. It's my first thing I ever did. Tattooing, piercing. A1's Exclusive Arts, 901-573-3778. We pay for quality, and we want to really give you an art piece. My electronics store, where we buy, sell, and fix electronics. A1's Omen Tech. You're destined for cash. That's where I got the word Omen. 901-500-6158. And A1's Nice Cops. That's where we are, right now. My shoe store. We buy shoes, sell shoes, and repair and customize them. A1's Nice Cops. 901-800-7303. My dealership, which will be open on the 26th, we'll be buying cars, leasing cars, renting cars, customizing cars, interior, wraps, paint jobs, and even a body shop as well, which I'm considering to make it extended hours, because that has not been done. 901-623-5598. And also I just branched into transportation, car hauling, and things like that. We have a 24-hour car towing service. A1's Tows is the number 901 area code. Also, my moving company, we will be doing that 24/7 too. So this will really help a lot of people that's getting off work late, and so they won't have to take off to actually get their stuff moved out of their house. We do $60 an hour, which is the cheapest by far for 2 workers, $85 for 3 workers. And we'll do it at any time of the day. So if you want to move out your house at 3 o'clock in the morning, you don't want your neighbors to know you're gone, or your work, whatever situation, we do that as well. That's branched from the towing number, 901-A1's Tows. I'm going to be in the car hauling by the end of this month, so we'll be literally shipping cars all across the country. This is my Aplex. Aplex is a 3 or more of A1's businesses. When I started getting so many, I had to name it one thing. My Aplex directory, for the people who didn't get all those numbers that I just gave you, if you just want to know everything that I do, 901-426-6000. That'll literally route you to every business that I do in Memphis as of now. My record label is A1's, Level Up. A1's Royal Records is going to be my studio. We do videography as well, and we we branched it with my dealership where we'll rent a car for you and actually shoot the video. It's 901-500-6158. But again, the director is probably be easier. 901-426-6000.